everyday etiquette and behavior between Asians and Europeans. Cultural differences that help us grow. In today's interconnected world, cultural differences are no longer distant or unusual. They've become part of everyday life, shaping the way we build relationships and work across borders. One of the clearest distinctions between cultures lies in how people behave in daily interactions. Asians and Europeans, with their long-standing histories and distinct traditions, have developed unique habits and forms of social etiquette. However, instead of dividing us, these differences offer chances to learn, adapt, and connect more deeply. A simple yet powerful example is the way people greet and show respect. Asians typically bow slightly when greeting, as a sign of humility and reverence. In Japan, the depth and duration of a bow reflect the relationship between the people involved. In contrast, Europeans tend to greet more openly and directly, with firm handshakes, light hugs, or even cheek kisses, especially in countries like France or Spain. While these gestures differ in form, they share the same essence, showing mutual respect. Ways of addressing each other also reveal striking contrasts. Asian cultures pay close attention to hierarchy and age. In Vietnamese, for example, people use various pronouns to address others based on social roles and age differences, never calling someone directly by name if they are older or in a higher position. Meanwhile, in Europe, especially in Western and Northern regions, people commonly use first names, even with their bosses or elders. This doesn't signal disrespect, but rather reflects a culture of equality and personal connection. When it comes to communication style, the differences become even more fascinating. Asians often prefer indirect communication to avoid confrontation or causing embarrassment. The concept of saving face is deeply rooted. Refusing someone might be done subtly or avoided altogether. On the other hand, Europeans value clarity and directness. Being honest, even if it feels uncomfortable, is seen as a way of showing respect. These different approaches may initially cause confusion, but once understood, they enrich the way we communicate. Fortunately, both cultures are adapting in positive ways. Asians are learning to speak more openly and assertively, while Europeans are becoming more nuanced and culturally sensitive in how they express themselves. In international environments, those who understand and adjust their behavior to suit other cultures are more likely to succeed and collaborate effectively. In the end, etiquette and behavior are mirrors of cultural identity. Though Asians and Europeans may approach life differently, they can always find common ground through mutual respect and open-mindedness. When we view cultural differences not as obstacles, but as opportunities, we take a major step toward building a more harmonious and sustainable world. How is Asian family-style dining different from European dinners? In every culture, meals are far more than just a time to fuel the body. They are moments of tradition, emotional connection, and cultural identity. When comparing how Asians and Europeans approach meals, we find many differences, from table setups and utensils to manners and meaning. Yet at the heart of it all lies a shared truth. Both cultures cherish mealtimes as powerful moments of human connection. Sharing versus individual portions. One of the clearest contrasts lies in how food is served. In Asia, meals are typically family-style, with dishes placed in the center for everyone to share. This reflects strong family ties and community spirit. Meals become lively gatherings where stories are exchanged just as naturally as food. In Europe, meals are more structured and individualized. Each person is served their own portion, often in a multi-course format: appetizer, main course, dessert. This reflects Western values of personal space, order, and culinary precision. Chopsticks versus fork and knife. Dining tools also speak volumes about cultural habits. Chopsticks, common in Asian cultures, require patience and finesse. Their use reflects a calm, gentle rhythm in eating, emphasizing mindfulness and harmony. On the other hand, Europeans use forks, knives, and spoons, tools made for slicing, scooping, and precision. Meals are often arranged in a sequence that highlights logic and structure, with an emphasis on the art of dining. Table manners and communication. Asian meals are shaped by respectful etiquette, offering food to elders first, raising a glass respectfully when toasting, avoiding taboo gestures like sticking chopsticks upright in rice. Such behaviors signal humility, gratitude, and social awareness. In contrast, European dining is often informal and warm. Toasts are cheerful and vocal, cheers, and conversation flows easily over wine and food. This reflects Western values of openness, equality, and relaxed interaction during meals. Blending cultures in a global world. Today, as cultures intersect, dining habits also blend. Many Asians now enjoy pizza, pasta, and Western-style dining with forks and knives. Likewise, Europeans are increasingly embracing Asian dishes like sushi, hot pot, and pho, learning to use chopsticks and appreciate communal eating. This cultural exchange reflects a growing openness to learn from one another, not to replace traditions, but to enrich them and build a more connected global society. Conclusion: meals as bridges of culture. Whether you're eating with chopsticks or a fork, sharing from the same dish, or enjoying your own plate, the deeper meaning remains. Food connects us. When we understand and embrace the diversity of dining cultures, we break barriers and move closer to one another, one meal at a time. Wedding traditions. How is an Asian bride different from a European bride? Weddings are among the most sacred milestones in life, rich in symbolism and tradition. They represent love, unity, and a shared future. When we compare weddings in Asian and European cultures, the differences in rituals, attire, family roles, and emotional expression offer a fascinating look into the values of each society. Yet, despite these differences, the essence remains, a celebration of connection and new beginnings. Ceremony and attire, formality versus freedom. In traditional Asian weddings, brides often wear cultural garments like the Vietnamese áo dai, Chinese chi pao, Korean hanbok, or Japanese kimono. These outfits are often red or gold, symbolizing luck and prosperity. The ceremonies are formal, sometimes spiritual, including ancestral offerings, bowing rituals, and elaborate processions. European brides typically wear white gowns, symbolizing purity and stemming from Christian traditions. Western ceremonies, often held in churches or outdoors, involve vows, ring exchanges, and a romantic kiss, simple but filled with heartfelt emotion. Family involvement, community versus individual autonomy. In many Asian cultures, a wedding is a union of two families, not just two people. Parents and relatives play major roles in planning and approving the event. Choosing dates, preparing offerings, and following specific customs are part of the norm. In contrast, European weddings are more focused on the couple. They usually make decisions about the venue, vows, and guest list independently. While families offer support, individual freedom and personal expression are more strongly emphasized. Wedding reception, formal versus personal. Asian wedding receptions often involve hundreds of guests, held in banquet halls with detailed ceremonies, formal toasts, gift-giving, usually red envelopes, and speeches from both families. The atmosphere is respectful and ceremonial. European receptions are typically smaller and more personalized. Dancing, heartfelt speeches, live music, and laughter make the celebration warm and emotionally engaging. It's not uncommon for tears to flow during emotional toasts from family and friends. Cultural blending, bridging East and West. Modern couples frequently blend both traditions. An Asian bride might wear her áo dai during a morning tea ceremony and change into a Western gown for the evening party. A European ceremony may include symbolic rituals from the groom or bride's heritage. This cultural fusion reflects openness and a desire to honor the past while embracing the present, a perfect metaphor for marriage itself. Conclusion. Whether it's through ancestral rituals or open-air vows, traditional outfits or modern dresses, weddings across cultures serve the same purpose: to celebrate love, unity, and shared dreams. Understanding and appreciating these differences enriches our global perspective and reminds us that at the heart of every wedding, East or West, is a promise of love. Attachment to homeland. Are Asians or Europeans more sentimental? Love for one's homeland is a sacred value in every culture. Yet, how we express that love varies significantly between the East and the West. Asians and Europeans each hold distinct views. One leans towards staying close to family and hometown, the other prioritizes independence and mobility. Family bonds. Asians stay close to roots. For many Asians, their hometown is more than just a birthplace. It's a spiritual anchor. Deeply rooted values like filial piety and respect for elders influence life choices. It's common for Asian families to live together across generations. Even when working far away, many still return home during holidays like Lunar New Year to reunite with family. This attachment is both emotional and dutiful. Honoring parents and ancestors is a fundamental moral pillar in cultures such as Vietnamese, Chinese, Korean, and Japanese. Independence and exploration. The European perspective. In contrast, Europeans are often encouraged to be independent from a young age. Moving out at 18, studying abroad, or relocating for work is common. To them, home is where they feel they belong, not necessarily where they were born. They view life as a journey and are open to new places and experiences. Though family ties remain important, Europeans generally maintain emotional distance and respect personal space. Their connection to hometowns is often nostalgic, not obligatory. Cultural differences, shared emotion. Despite the contrast, both cultures express love for their homeland in meaningful ways. Many young Europeans living abroad still celebrate local traditions, visit family, and carry pride in their roots. Likewise, young Asians today are open to exploring the world, but often keep their cultural identity close to heart. Conclusion. Loving your homeland isn't about staying or leaving, it's about the values and emotions you carry. Whether East or West, people across cultures share the same desire, to honor where they come from while growing into who they are meant to be. Lunar New Year versus Christmas, a fascinating cultural contrast. Festivals reflect the soul of a culture. Through the way they are celebrated, we see the values, beliefs, and priorities of a society. Comparing Lunar New Year in Asia with Christmas in the West reveals not just different dates and customs, but also two very different worldviews. Lunar New Year, a festival of family and ancestors. In many Asian countries, such as Vietnam, China, and South Korea, Lunar New Year is the most sacred and anticipated holiday. It's a time for family reunion, paying respects to ancestors, and beginning the new year with blessings and hope. Traditions include deep cleaning homes, ancestor worship, giving lucky money, visiting relatives, and enjoying a large family dinner on New Year's Eve. The festival holds spiritual meaning, blending past respect with future aspirations. Christmas, a celebration of love and giving. Meanwhile, in Europe and Western countries, Christmas is one of the most cherished holidays. Rooted in Christianity, it commemorates the birth of Jesus Christ, symbolizing hope and love. Although religious at its core, Christmas today is also a secular celebration filled with warmth and generosity. People give gifts, decorate trees, attend church, share meals, and often contribute to charitable causes. Faith and atmosphere, East versus West. Lunar New Year is more spiritual and ritualistic, focusing on tradition and respect. Christmas is emotionally expressive, centered on love and joy. Asians honor ancestors with incense and prayers. Europeans gather in churches for carols and reflection. One looks to the past for guidance, the other to faith for inspiration. Cultural fusion in modern times. Today, many Asians also celebrate Christmas as a fun social occasion, while Lunar New Year is being recognized globally, especially by overseas Asian communities and curious Westerners. You might find a Christmas tree next to Bonchung, or a Western family enjoying dumplings for Lunar New Year, signs of beautiful cultural exchange. Conclusion. Despite their differences, both Lunar New Year and Christmas share a common purpose: to bring people together, celebrate tradition, and spread love. It's these contrasts that enrich the global tapestry, and it's through understanding that we connect beyond borders.